Hey, good morning, guys. My name is John Richards. I want to shoot you guys a quick video. I like to answer questions. Sometimes I get on Facebook if I can help, of course, and some of the skills that I have and have been able to get over the last few years. I like to share that. One of the questions I got this morning is not knowing how to get clear on what you really want, and that is hard, because sometimes we get overwhelmed and we really don't know what we want, So what I always do, and I talked about this in a video the other day, but I'm going to go ahead a little bit deeper and actually going to share one of my quarterly visions with you. You got to get extremely clear on what you want, because if not, you're all over the place. You have goals in all different directions and they make no sense. So one of the things you really got to do is you got to sit down and you got to write a vision. I don't like to write them more than a year. A lot of people like, John Azarov teaches you should write a vision for life at the summit, which is not really 10, 20 years out there, but it's more of a lifetime vision. Now, I do agree with that, and sometimes I do that, and sometimes I don't. I have one in my vision book, so I write my visions, and I actually keep them in a notebook. But I like to read them, excuse me, I like to write them for 1 year out. So I have a vision for the end of this year of 2015. And, it just basically always starts out, today is December 31st, 2015. My life is so incredible. And then I take, usually about 4 areas, maybe 3 areas that I really get clear on, because you can't get clear on everything. A lot of things kind of follow suit with the things you're clear on. So I make sure that I always get clear on, my family, a lot of, my spiritual life, my financial life, my career, that kind of thing. I get piercing focus on that. And I just basically, I describe what your life looks like then, So, let's say, it's Doobly, this has been an amazing year. I was able to make over $150,000 in income. I sponsored 50 personals. I have 250 people in my business. My email list has over 500 subscribers. I've been able to master, video marketing. I've got 600 videos on YouTube right now, and I'm getting, 20 leads a day. Whatever it is, you see what I'm saying? You got to get extremely clear on what that looks like. Don't let this overwhelm you. Just get clear. What do you feel in your heart? What do you really want? Okay? And then the key to that is writing down 3 to 5 reasons why you want that to happen. 3 to 5 reasons why. All right? And then you identify 3 goals for the year. You never have more than 3. People with 5, 10, 15 goals, that's just crazy. That's just wish list stuff. You got to really key in on what are the most life-changing goals that you can actually set. You've always heard the big, hairy, audacious goal. That's that number 1 goal. For me, it's income with Doobly, of course, because I'm excited about working with Cameron. I was brought in by Kristen Henneke, who showed me how to market with video, and I'm actually focused on 50 videos a week right now, and to be at 600 videos by the 13th of September, because I have a really clear vision on that. And then write those 3 goals down for the year, and one of mine is health, and one of mine is, my goal for Doobly, and one of mine is a goal for another business that I'm actually doing. And, they're written, and always write this in present positive tense. So let's say, my goal is to weigh 220 pounds, whatever it is. I'm a big guy, so that's a good goal for me. So the way I would word that goal is, I weigh 220 pounds. It's really simple, don't make it hard, make it simple. One of the things Peter Vogt has taught me, and he's one of my mentors. He's written a couple books, is keep everything simple. All right. So that's what I do. And then I write a goal for the quarter. Okay. Then that goal for the quarter, or that vision for the quarter, I always start with a vision. Always start with a vision. The vision is actually focused toward the vision for the year. You need to make sure they're working together. You don't have a vision for the year and then have a quarterly vision take you in a different direction. All right? And then when I do the vision for the quarter, I do the same thing. I identify 3 goals. All right? And I also write 3 to 5 reasons why I need to make that happen. Take the time to do this. There's a great book out there. It's called Vision to Reality by Honore Corder. I know her pretty well. I've read that book 3 or 4 times. It's really good. And I've actually listened to it on audio a couple times. So read that book. And then there's another great book called 12-Week Year by Brian Moran, because it's hard to focus on goals for the year because, you've always heard, the last 3 months of the year are always the best months. It's because everybody waits till the last 3 months of the year to really take massive action. But think about it this way. If you take each quarter and you really focus on that. So when I do my visualization, I actually visualize a quarter at a time because I know if I achieve my quarterly goal, I can achieve my yearly goal. So I look at it at 12-week periods is what I do. I use the 12-week year. And I never identify more than 3 key habits to hit that. So quarterly, like I said, I have a vision. I identify 3 goals, and I identify 3 to 5 reasons why I need to make that happen. Now, another question that I got this morning, or actually got last night, is how do you make time for all this? You got to schedule everything. A do list doesn't work. If you time block, and I know JR and I have talked about this on a webinar, you need to block time in your calendar. Let's say you're working a full-time job and you got a family, you got all these other, these other things that you have to do. Well, you got to block those in first, right? And then you need to find out what time is left. And then you need to be most productive with that time. If you're not getting up and doing a morning routine right now, step 1, you need to do that. So if you get up at 6, get up at 5 and create a morning routine. My morning routine is blocked in 4 to 6:30, 7 days a week. I don't miss. I was up to almost 11 o'clock last night on a webinar, but guess what? I was still up at 4 o'clock this morning. And I did my morning routine. And I'm working through my most valuable priorities. It's all blocked in, and my morning routine just consists of really simply, again, another book. I'm always giving books. I know that because I do read a lot of books because it gives me all the knowledge I need for this stuff. But then you got to implement it. Don't just read a book and not implement it. But anyway, the first thing I do is I always meditate, okay? Meditation calms the mind. Then as soon as I'm done meditating, then I like to visualize. Again, John Asraf showed me, he says, when you meditate, you've calmed your mind. Then when you visualize, you see clearer. So try to visualize right after you've meditated. And then as soon as I visualize, then I like to say a short prayer. And then I've done that on my sofa. Then I come into my desk, which is where I'm at now, and I read my affirmations, And these affirmations are statements that support my goals, all right? And then as soon as I've read the affirmations, I read a good book, usually 30 minutes. And I also have another routine in the afternoon where I read an additional 30 minutes because I know how important reading is, and I want to read about a book a week. Now, it's not always a different book. I've read some books 10 times because if you haven't mastered it, if you're not implementing it, you're not reading for the right reason. And when you read, you need to read books that are actually have to do with the field you're in or work you towards your vision. You don't want to go out and just read a bunch of articles or YouTube and that kind of stuff. And another thing that, one of my mentors had shared with me, you got to keep everything simple. Don't make it hard. Don't make it overwhelming. Always focus on 3 things. You got the 3 key habits that you need to do to hit your goal and block those into your calendar. If you don't have a lot of time, you just got to make time for these kind of things. I have a friend of mine who, he gets up at 7 o'clock in the morning. He says, well, I don't have time for a morning routine. Well, you're getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do a morning routine. If you want something bad enough, you can make it happen. I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to the video on, it's called Decision Train, where how most people make decisions. Most people make decisions based on their feelings. It's like, I want to work out tomorrow. Guess what, though? You get up, you're not feeling like it. Maybe you're a little nauseated because of early morning, and you don't work out. Well, the best way to do that, the 5%ers, the top guys, how they make a decision is they make a decision based on action. So I work out 6 days a week. And, what I do is sometimes I don't want to do it, but once I'm doing it, I feel better, But it's always a routine, Just like I said, making videos is a routine. Tweaking my Facebook ads is a routine. Doing my postings, I do them on Saturdays. I got a 90-minute block on Saturday, and I don't miss it. It's a routine. I pay my bills on a routine. It's all blocked in. One of the things Darren Hardy shared with me, I went through a course with him. It was called Insane Productivity. It was a really great course, and it's strictly on high achievers and how they produce. And one of the things he said, he said, most high achievers, most of the top guys are really pretty lazy, but why they're successful is because they've created routines around the things that they need to be successful about. Like if you've seen Michael Jordan right now, or Larry Bird, or Charles Barkley, those guys are out of shape. They don't look like they did when they're in their heyday, only because the routines they had then, they don't have anymore. So, I guess, to bring this all together is this. Block out time in your calendar to get very clear on what you want. Just write it out. And the best way to write a vision is not to think about it. The best visions you're going to write are going to be in 15 to 30 minutes. You write it out. I usually do a first draft. I wait a couple days. I come back and I redo it again. And usually about 90% of what I put in the first draft stays in the second draft. And again, your vision is something that's happening in the future. So it's got to be present, positive tense, like it's already happened. Write it out. I put it on a Word doc. I put it in in a folder. But I'm going to go ahead and real quick read my vision for Facebook ads. And my next quarter actually ends on September 13th. I'm a little off on that, but I just write it. Today is September 13th, 2015. I do this on every project, anything I'm starting new. I have it on video marketing and everything. So I have come so far with Facebook ads. It was early July when I first started with Facebook ads, and I knew absolutely nothing, which I didn't. Okay. In fact, I feared them. I didn't really know about social media. I was offered the opportunity by Christian Henneke to work with Cameron George, and I'm stupid, and I'm not stupid. I jumped in, which I am not. Cameron, if you look him up, he's a majorly successful internet marketer. I feel so blessed that I get to work with him and JR. All right. Now, just 8 weeks later, my results are through the roof. I am signing up 2 to 3 BAs weekly. My fan page postings have massive engagement. I have mastered Facebook ads. Thank you, Christian Henneke, for the opportunity. Okay. Then right below that, okay, I write my purpose. The skills that I master will create my success. I heard from a guy yesterday, and he said, your success in life is your skills times action. Skills times action equals success. And you don't need a ton of skills. If you know video marketing, if you know Facebook ads, and you really get good at it, you can become extremely successful. My second step on the purpose, I always write out 3, usually 3 to 5. I want to look at my family and know that I can give them anything, okay? And I want to have total freedom in life. That's my why. So when I think about why I want to do this and how I'm going to do this, I think about that, okay? So again, don't make this hard. Block out time. Maybe it's an hour a day. Maybe it's 3 hours a week. Get your vision written, okay? Get your purpose written. Write your 3 goals you can start by writing your goal, your vision for the end of the year. Write your vision for the next 90 days or 12 weeks. Write your vision, maybe, for your morning routine, what you want that to look like. Because if you create a picture and a direction, you're more likely to make it happen, okay? If you don't do that, the chances are not, it's like I see people that are all over I don't know if you've ever if some of you guys go to the gym, but you go to the gym and you see these people, they have no plan. I go to the gym with a plan. Man, I write down exactly what I'm going to do, and then I go do it. If I didn't, I'd be all over the place. I think I'll work this today, or I'll work this today. And, you're not going to get there. So if my vision is to lose weight and be in great shape, then when I go to the gym, I have an intention, right? That's the key. So hopefully this helps. Again, I get a little long-winded on this. It's early in the morning, and I've had a lot of coffee, and, I get up really early. So, but anyway, write your vision. But the key is schedule everything. Schedule everything and keep it simple. Thanks. Have a great day, guys.